So I am going to put this in record mode.
Hey, Lisa.
Yes.
Does that mean that anything we say or do can be used against us in a court of law?
It absolutely can. So choose your words wisely.
Chad,
choose your
stop
words
drinking.
wisely. Okay.
I've watched a lot of Law and Order. I know exactly how this.
You know, this presentation could go in a lot of different directions. One just never knows. So what I'm going to do is put us into slideshow. Can you guys all see that? Okay, Kristen, can you see that?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Awesome. So tonight we're going to just talk about some simple changes and really a concept that is so simple, but yet is so profound and so desperately needed, and that is good health and good nutrition. And this is kind of funny when I talk about this. You know, health used to be simple. It used to be really easy. We all seem to be around the same age group. And, you know, when I grew up, we went outside and played all day for 8 hours every day. I don't even remember when we ate lunch, but my parents basically said, don't come in till it's dark. We peed in the woods, we drank from a hose, and truly that is how we lived. And now it is very, very different, isn't it? And I'm a mom of 2 girls. I'll get into my story in a bit, but you know, kids today are being raised in a completely different way. They're going to the drive-thru on a regular basis. Video games are prevalent. Things that our parents and our grandparents that didn't even exist when they were growing up are common in terms of processed food and sodas and all these things. And we're a society that has, you know, just really become sleep deprived, and, you know, it's almost like a rite of passage, like we can all wear our badge of armor, like, you know, oh, I only sleep 5 hours a night. But the reality is that that's really, really unhealthy. So how do you take care of you? And I don't know all of you guys individually, but I know that if you're related to Kristen, then you are at least health-minded or maybe active-minded, because she really is an active, fit gal that inspires me. So are you eating real food, meaning whole food, meaning the stuff that doesn't come in a box or a bag that has a million different ingredients on it, half of which we cannot pronounce? Are you exercising most days, doing really what you love? And I've been talking about this for a long time, and I have just found that in coaching people and really supporting people in their health journey, people have got to exercise in the way that they enjoy. So, you know, I know Kristen likes to get up at the crack of dawn and go for a super long bike ride. I like group fitness, where I'm surrounded by people and somebody else tells me what to do. You know, being outside in nature is also really important. So what is it that you love to do? And then just go do it, because moving is everything. We've got to move our bodies. Drinking water. Most people in this country are chronically dehydrated. So we need to drink, again, I'm sure you guys know this, 8 ounces of water every day. That doesn't include rehydrating after coffee or alcohol. So for those of you guys having your nightly cocktails, make sure you've got your water right next to it and keep hydrating. Good girl there. I see somebody taking a sip. And, you know, if you feel thirsty, you're already dehydrated. If, you know, you have a headache or you're feeling super hungry and you just ate an hour ago, you're probably thirsty. Okay, and then sleep. And I talked about this. We're chronically sleep deprived as a nation, and truly, truly, we have got to get 7 to 8 hours of sleep every night. And we're not as adults, and I know as a mom of older kids now, my kids are not. So this really becomes a chronic issue over time. Whoops, and if you guys don't mind, if you see your mute button in the top right-hand corner, that would be easy just to mute yourselves. Awesome. So there are 2 startling trends in the world, which are not going to surprise you guys at all. We have way more toxins in our life than ever before. And this slide, I could break apart. I could depress us all. You'd want to pour 3 more cocktails. But the reality is that regardless of where you live, even in the most rural, beautiful, tree-filled areas, we do have more toxins in everything from our air to our water and to our food, right? I live in a very toxic area. I live in Southern California. It is admittedly very toxic here. So I have to put a lot of things into place in my family's life, and I have to get those out as much as possible. But the reality is that we're born with toxins. They find toxins in, babies' umbilical cords now. It's just, it's an uphill battle that we are continuing to fight. And our food quality is decreasing. More good news. So as we shop, we know that a lot of things that go into our grocery carts and into our pantries still have preservatives. They have GMOs. They have way less nutrition. They have pesticides and herbicides, and they have a lot of artificial things, especially if you're in the middle of the grocery store. That's where most of this stuff is. So I always encourage, my people that I help to just stay at the perimeter, stay in the produce section, stay in the, fresh organic meat section, things like that. So that's another uphill battle that we have. So now that the bad news is out of the way, what we know to be true is that there is a process in our body that happens every single day. It happens from eating, drinking, metabolizing, especially if you're in the sun a lot, if you're a smoker, and it is a process called oxidative stress. And it's when our cells are being hit by these toxins, basically. And the whole process of aging is a process of oxidative stress. So we are breathing, we're eating, we're metabolizing, we're basically a burning furnace. And the way that I like to explain it is that we're a fireplace burning, burning, burning. What is a good fire needs? It needs wood, it needs air, and then it just needs a little fuel. So what happens when that fire is put out is what is left there? Ash. So we wake up the next day or whatever, the campfire goes out and there's ash there. That is what's happening to our cells every single day. The woman that you see here in the picture, if she's older or if she smokes, you can see on her face that she has a lot more oxidative stress. The apple cut in half, I'm sure you guys have all experienced this before, when it turns brown. The only way that you can stop that from happening is if you put a lemon on it. And that lemon is because of antioxidants. So antioxidants that are found only in fruits and vegetables, it is the only way to get antioxidants the right way, are found in fruits and vegetables. They're the number one way to defend our bodies from this natural course of oxidative stress that's happening no matter what. So that's the good news, is that we can slow that oxidation process down with antioxidants, with fruits and vegetables. So I remember when this Time magazine cover came out in 2003, it was when I really was getting excited about what I was starting to do with Juice Plus and my new career. And I remember really being struck that this was on the cover of Time magazine, and it was just this. It was a picture, it was fruits and vegetables, and the quote is that the news isn't that fruits and vegetables are good for you, it's that they are so good for you, they could save your life. And I could stay on this call with you guys for the next 24 hours and tell you story after story of how I know that to be true, but I will not. I will press on. The next slide here, this is my favorite slide. So we know that fruits and vegetables are so good for us because they help with the process of oxidation, which leads to disease and, premature aging and death. So, I want to say like 60, maybe even 70 years ago, researchers knew that we were a society that was lacking in nutrition. So being, thought forward thinking in their ways, they realized that we needed some supplementation to bridge the gap. So hence, was born the vitamin world. So the vitamin world has become very confusing and very complex, as I'm sure you guys, experience, as I do as well. But if you look at a multivitamin label, which is on the left-hand side here, this little picture, I know it's kind of hard to see, but you guys get the idea, versus a man-made apple. This apple, these little words that you will not be able to see, don't worry, not even with a good bifocals, this picture contains 400 of the 12 to 25,000 plant chemicals that are in one apple. Mother Nature has perfectly designed this apple with all of the phytonutrients that we need. So the idea of taking 3, 4, 25, whatever it is, vitamin C, vitamin E, beta carotene, the ones that we know of, and putting them in a man-made supplement, it just doesn't really jive. And the analogy that I love to share, because I do love football and I love one team in particular, as I'm sure we all do, you cannot take your favorite quarterback and put him out against the best defensive line, because of course he will be crushed. But he has his offensive line, he has his team, and together as a team, they get the job done. And it's the same to be true of fruits and vegetables, whole foods versus vitamins. You have a much better shot of your body absorbing that nutrition, having it go to work in your body to reduce the oxidative stress process when you deal with food. It's Mother Nature and it's perfectly made. So, did you also know that today's mass-produced produce, of which it is of course mass-produced because we continue to grow as a population, it packs a way less nutritional punch than it ever did. So this again makes sense just as we evolve as a society. Some varieties of produce have lost 5% and some up to 40% of their nutritional content. So I would say to people, you know, the broccoli that is in my refrigerator that I get organically still has way less nutritional punch than the broccoli that my parents, my grandparents, and of course my great-grandparents consumed. Which is why when I was younger and growing up, it was always 5 a day, right? Like 5 on the hand. We would teach our kids 5 a day. And now it's up to 7 to 13 and even more. And if any of you guys are athletically inclined, the way that Kristen is, athletes need anywhere between 20 to 30 servings of fruits and vegetables every single day because their oxidative stress is so much greater, especially if you're training for something significant like a marathon or a bike race or a triathlon. So we really do need to be eating a lot more than we are. So that is why my family is so grateful, and I am so grateful that you guys are open to learning about a solution that came into my family's life 17 years ago, and this is called Juice Plus. So Juice Plus is the essence of 30 fruits, veggies, and berries that we have crushed, dehydrated, removed the sugars and most of the salts from. There really isn't any salt in produce, but natural sugars in the fruit especially, and encapsulated the nutritional powders. We have crushed the rind, we have crushed the seeds, we have crushed the pulp, and so you are getting truly, truly the whole food. And, you know, when you think about it, if you've ever experienced juicing, you can fill your counter full of produce, you can throw it in your Vitamix or whatever you've got, and you're really just left with a glass, right? The same is true for Juice Plus. We have just taken it one step further. We have taken the essence of all these different fruits, veggies, berries, and we have juiced them, and then we have taken out the water. But because the juicing process isn't really truly juicing, it's more of crushing, you've been left with some of the fiber. So I don't know about you guys, but the last time I had a bilberry was never. The last time I had an acerola cherry was never. The last time I had a cranberry was Thanksgiving, and the next time I'll have a cranberry is Thanksgiving. So the last time my kids ate kale was rare. And I feel so good knowing that my body gets this nutrition every single solitary day, and so does my family, and so do a lot of people that I love. So these are my people. This is my husband, Phil, of 24 years, and my oldest, who's on my left, Ellie, is going to be 21 soon, and my youngest is 17. And when they were 3 and 6 weeks old, I learned about Juice Plus. And I was a mom really looking for something. I was very run down. I was sick. I've always had a weaker immune system. I was the kid that got chronic strep throat, mono. I even had a form of chronic fatigue in my 20s. And by the time I had these two little queens, they had really just sucked the life out of me, as I say. And I was really looking for something. And Juice Plus made total sense to me. I was like, okay, it's food. It comes with a nutrition label. It's not a vitamin. My kids don't eat this way. I'm not cooking well for them at all. I was working full time and I thought, sure, let's give it a try. Some moms that I knew shared it with me, and, you know, moms trust moms. So without a lot of education, I said yes to Juice Plus. And I was actually really surprised at what happened. I didn't expect much to happen, but we did notice that, you know, for me, I noticed in about 6 to 8 weeks that I was sleeping better at night. I was waking up feeling less fatigued. I really just started to feel like myself again. I stopped having to go to the pediatrician every single month for antibiotics. My oldest had chronic croup, which led to a few bouts of pneumonia by the time she was 3, which then started to lead down the asthma road. And I am so thrilled to tell you guys that, you know, it's been 17 years. I've raised them on it. We're a healthy family, but we are by far a perfect family. And, you know, my kids are out there in the world making choices of their own now. And yet they take their Juice Plus every day. And, you know, we are a healthy family. And my husband's 56. He does yoga twice a day. He hikes and he travels for business. He hardly ever gets sick. I mean, maybe once a year. And, you know, my kids are healthy. My 17-year-old's missed 1 day of school from being sick. So I was really thrilled with Juice Plus, and my background's in PR. And like Kristen said, I had a pretty demanding corporate career. And when they were little, I had the full deal. I had the full-time nanny. I had, you know, I wasn't doing my own laundry. I wasn't like really in charge of my household or my kids. And I really was looking for a way to create some more time freedom and have more flexibility in my life. And I love Juice Plus. I knew it was good. I had no idea that this was a business. I just thought that my Juice Plus just showed up. It just like showed up. That was it. And, but yet I was telling people about it, and I really wanted my family to know. I wanted the people that I loved and cared about to take Juice Plus. And so I did start to look more seriously into this business. And I'm so grateful that I did. And I'm so grateful that I had an open mind, because it really, really has changed my family's life. Because I said yes, and when I said yes in a pretty big way. When I make a decision, I tend to go all in. And, you know, I knew I loved 3 things. I love people, I love Juice Plus, and I love talking. So, but you don't have to love talking. And so I was able to build a business that replaced my corporate income, which was a 6-figure income. We did reach the top level position of the company. We did that over 10 years ago, and we have a full benefits package that our company offers to its top leaders. And I'm so grateful because it's just been an incredible journey of building amazing relationships with awesome people like Kristen and her sister Nikki and so many countless others. And I wake up every day and I have complete control over my calendar, and that is huge. So I'm grateful for Juice Plus for our health, and I'm grateful for this business for what it has provided my family with, and I just feel like we're just getting started. So Juice Plus also has an awesome complete protein powder shake mix, and I know that Kristen is a huge fan of this and has done an incredible job with our Shred 10 program, which I'll close with in a few minutes. I will close with in 5 minutes. So the complete is amazing. It is a plant-based, non-GMO, gluten and dairy-free, 100% GMO-free, including the water wash soy that is the protein source. Complete has a low glycemic index load, which means when you drink it, you are not going to be hungry in an hour. And depending on what you put in it, you're probably not going to be hungry for many hours, depending on, you know, how you use it. And we absolutely love this complete. It's a staple in our home. It's my favorite meal of the day. I haven't gone without it in like 15 years. And it is just rich with more plants that are really the macronutrition that we need. Obviously the carbohydrates, the fibers, the calories that we need. So these are just more ingredients that you're getting from the complete, the alfalfa sprouts, cocoa, yucca, spirulina, which is a really densely nutritious ingredient. So why is Juice Plus unique? Like, why is it different? Because it's whole foods. Like I mentioned in my story, it has a food label. It's plant chemicals. Everything is non-GMO. It is dairy-free. It is gluten-free. It is NSF certified, which is the highest level of safety that any product can receive that is a consumable product. And the big deal that really truly sets us apart over 25 years is our third-party independent research. So just really quick, I always say you're known by the company that you keep, and these institutions and medical centers have been doing Juice Plus have been doing research on Juice Plus for 25 years. I'm really proud of the fact that the management team really figured it out early on and realized that the way to be different was not to have big athletes endorse us or buy commercials on TV, but to go down the very humble and yet steadfast road of science, because that is where the medical community lives, is in the world of science. So these medical journals have independently, third party, without any influence from us, obviously, you cannot buy your way into a medical review journal, have reviewed Juice Plus. And with 38 studies in hand, you know, you really can feel confident that you're taking something, and for me, I'm sharing something that is indisputably proven to impact every aspect of your health, whether you feel anything or not. So everything from cardiovascular wellness to strengthening the immune system, to reducing systemic inflammation, protecting our DNA. I mean, everything is with our DNA. And if you think about the beginning of this talk, when I started talking about oxidative stress, 4 studies prove that Juice Plus reduces oxidative stress in the body, which is absolutely huge, which is why I'm really 70 and I look 20. It improves gum health, healthier skin and nails, and we have just a really whole host of other studies that have been currently published, including insulin resistance in obese boys, quality of life in ovarian cancer, women, lung health. So I really encourage you, especially if you're a science geek, to look at the studies because they really are exciting. And I know for Kristen, I've been talking to some of her cousins this week, the athletic study that was done in a sports journal, the leading athletic sports journal, is really, really, really significant too for athletes. So that's why we do have a lot of athletes involved with Juice Plus. My favorite study personally is the Kids Eat Free study, which is where kids, once they turn 4 years old, all the way up through undergraduate college. So if you have kids in college, the way that I do, this is still relevant, that when an adult, mom, dad, grandma, grandpa, caring aunt, godparent, whatever, gets on Juice Plus and orders Juice Plus, the Orchard and the Garden blend for the child are free. The Orchard and the Garden is our original 2 blends, so that is the one that is free. And you can see here that these kids that take Juice Plus after a year, they are missing fewer days of school. They are eating more fruits and vegetables. They are going to the doctor less. They're drinking more water, consuming way less fast drinks. And 98% of these kids and adults, or 96, sorry, have a positive benefit of some kind. And I really love this study. I could go on about this study and what I've personally experienced with helping a lot of families get on this study. It's just the fact that we've given away over free Juice Plus to over 1 million kids is truly outstanding. So our Omega blend is our newest blend, and this is really a result of people asking us, frankly, when are you guys going to come out with an Omega, a plant-based Omega? Because you can, of course, have fish-based Omegas, but ours is based on plants, and it is 100% whole food based. So we basically cut out the middle guy, the fish, and we have a full range of spectrum of Omegas. It's all in vegetarian capsules, and I have to say, I've been on Juice Plus for a long time, and I was like, okay, I'll be a good girl. The company sent it to us as leaders for a couple months beforehand. When I got consistent taking the Omega blend, I really noticed some changes in my health. I noticed I had even more energy. I noticed for the first time, I started remembering my dreams for the first time in a long time. And that just tells me that my brain must be functioning better. That's the only thing I can think of. And with Alzheimer's really truly being the #1 health threat that our country has right now, I want to do everything that I can to protect my brain. And I feel really good putting anything that's made by Juice Plus in my body. So lastly, I'm going to cover Kristen's passionate program, and that is the Shred 10. So the Shred 10 came about in a really interesting way, which I will not go into that story. I was a very skeptical person about the shreds personally. So what happens is that we have toxins in our body every day. I talked about that at the beginning. Where toxins live are in our fat cells. So toxins love fat. When we diet, our body will get rid of the fat. We will deprive ourselves, we'll overexercise, we'll undereat, and the fat will go away. Yet the toxins are still left there. So if you look at the top part about this slide, the toxins are still left in our body. That is not a good thing, because now our vital organs are potentially going to be harmed when these toxins are running rampant. So we rebound. So we rebound because we want that fat back, because that's really what's going to protect our body from the toxins, okay? But if you think about a shred or a cleanse, and we focus on removing the toxins, okay, versus removing the fat, it's a totally different experience, because when the fat goes, when the toxins go away and they leave our system, the fat goes with it, okay? The fat goes with it. So if we can focus on cleansing our body of toxins versus losing fat, it's a much healthier approach, because you're going to have a much easier time maintaining that healthy weight and keeping the toxins out, which in turn will keep the fat out. Our tower gardens are amazing. I love mine. Everyone needs one. We are going to we need to double our food supply by the year 2050. We are a country running out of water and running out of land. I'm running out of time, so I won't go into the tower too much, but I absolutely love ours. Oh, this doesn't go into the shred as much. Okay, so I am wrapping up. So what I love about our community is that we are a company that truly does care about everyone's journey to better health. We want you guys to be healthy. We want to support you, and we do through a lot of different programs that we have. The healthylivingrevolution.com is an awesome website that you guys can get cookbooks, you can get support. We have monthly webinars with healthcare professionals, and we really are a company that is on a mission to help people. So with that, we really invite you guys to, do a couple of things. First of all, I just want to thank you all for taking the time, for Kristen and for Nikki. You guys are obviously a great family to show up on Zoom, new technology, and watch Zoom instead of watching your favorite TV show. So you can really just take this education. You can, you can walk away and you can just say, you know what, I support Kristen and Nikki in their endeavors. And if anyone's looking to be healthy, I'll send them their way. I know that they would absolutely love and appreciate that so much. You can choose to embrace Juice Plus yourself if you haven't yet. The trio, the complete, the shred. Kristen would love to have you in her next shred group. She really is a master shredder. We would absolutely love to support you in your journey and getting on Juice Plus and getting started. Or maybe you're thinking, you know what, I have more people in my life that probably need to hear this information. My best friend, my sister-in-law, someone. And we are truly on a mission. And so I want to invite you to, even take a look at joining us on this business opportunity. Maybe you are someone that needs to create some extra income in your life, and doing something that matters every day is important, the way that it was to me. So we invite you to take a look at that component as well, if that's something that you are interested in. So with that, I am going to stop my screen share. And if you guys want to hang out, I am totally available to answer any questions that you might have. And again, I just thank you for listening and being open to the education. So Kristen, you want to maybe help?
Does anyone have any questions? Questions, anyone?
No, but I do have a comment.
Oh. Go ahead.
Yes.
Okay.
Somebody was.
Go ahead, Nikki.
I do have can you hear me? Yeah. I do have one comment that is that the business too is only $50 a month to do. So it's
$50
not like
a year.
huge investment, and you don't have to keep a stock. Juice Plus ships it directly from the company. So that's been a very nice thing for me. I just have to put in the order and Juice Plus ships it and inventories it and keeps track of my tax year-end stuff, and it's beautiful that way.
Yeah, Nikki, it's $50 a year.
A
I said
year.
a month.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Did I say a month?
Yeah.
I meant a year.
It's a year.
$50 a year.
So that's basically to own your own. We call it a virtual franchise in this business. So you own your own business essentially for $50 a year. So it's a pretty cheap buy-in. And I wanted to add too, just as you know, I've been a registered dietitian now for 27 years, and I really, when I say I stumbled upon Juice Plus, I really honestly did not think that it was. I had very little faith in the product. I thought everything that you needed you could get from your food, and this is just a hoax. But there was something in the back of my head that was like, well, what if, you know? So I think I got worn down enough, and I finally just said, okay, fine, I'll try your product. And lo and behold, I mean, our health, you know, and I thought it was healthy. I'm riding a bike every day. I'm running triathlons and doing my thing, and but there were a lot of things that were kind of going on that I just sort of attributed to getting older, and you know, I hated to admit it, and I purposely didn't change my diet at all that whole first year, because I knew that if anything changed, I would blame it on because I changed my diet. But you know, I hate to admit it, almost I hated to, but things were changing. I was getting healthier, and then I had to, like, it sort of evolved into this thing of, my gosh, I have to share this because I'm getting healthier. You know, as healthy as I was on the outside, I had a cholesterol of 250, and for my whole adult life, and that thing finally came down into the 104, 170, I think my last one was, you know, and that's just, it's not a fluke. It happened to my husband too. He'd had high cholesterol on medication, came down, you know, off the medication. So it sort of became this no-brainer of, I have to share this business because the product works. And you know, I so wish as a clinical dietitian, when I was practicing in, you know, in the hospital setting, I so wish I would have, this was really something that would have helped so many patients, because we just can't get people to eat enough fruits and vegetables, bottom line, to really thwart off chronic disease. So, you know, I thank you guys all for coming. If you have any questions, you can get with any of us. We're all here to sort of help, and we're all here in this journey to try to inspire people to live as healthy as possible. So, you know, we'd love to have you on board as part of our Juice Plus family in any capacity. So thanks so much for everyone for coming. And really, if you have questions, speak up. We got the best here, right up in the corner there. No one? Quiet group? That nightcap setting in, chemo? All right, you guys. Well, I will. I know we've gone over almost 10 minutes now. I don't want to keep anyone too long, but I really thank you all for getting on. And you know, I hope to hear from you. I hope you at least you take something away from tonight. Thank you so much, Lisa.
Thank you guys
Lisa.
so much. This is a lot of fun. Everybody have a great night. Thank you so
All right.
much.